Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Pokemon Mystery Dungeons & Dragons: The Lanwell Chronicles. They technically don't have their team name yet, so we can't call it that, and I'm not going to change the name to their team name now after over 40 episodes. But anyways, who wishes to be the recapper today?
I believe I did it last time.
I did it the week before that, I believe.
Oh, so it's up to me?
Yeah, I
Is
guess
that-
so. Unless Doc or Quill wants to volunteer, I guess it's up to you, yeah?
Okay. Well, on the last episode, we followed up on our suspicions of everything not being right in Whitetown and infiltrated the mayor's office using a combination of deception and disguises. And after that, we bore fruit when we found a secret passage. And later in the night, we used the said disguises of various CLS members that we have met throughout our journey to go down into the secret bunker of where the former mayor of Whitetown was held up. And using our disguises and some subterfuge, we discovered that this was particularly a ruse for partly us, and they are plotting with Fleffel to ambush us to the nondescript mystery dungeon we are going to next. We were also given a will, or sort of a will of sorts uh, to these people we were impersonating to take care of things if the mayor is to go to die or disappear or whatever. And after that, we went back up and kind of plotted a course on what to do next, and I believe that is to go to the Delvers with our new name, Spare Parts.
Yeah, pretty much. Roll yourself that d6.
Okay. All right. Gotta get in the right channel. R D6. 2.
2.
All right.
Alrighty, so yeah. Believe you guys have already rested for the night, and it is now morning. We'll say Sergey is sort of quiet for the moment and just sort of surveying, following along with you guys without really doing much today.
Okay. Well, I believe our plan was to go visit the Delvers, correct? I'm going to be
Yes.
saying this in our head as well.
Okay.
Uh,
Sergey is sort
Right, guess we're
Fredo
heading off to Gwaybold Town then.
well, that's really far away. It's realized.
Yes, it is.
Alright, so, what path are you guys taking to get there? Yeah,
uh, prob
the map is up.
uh, probably go down through Misty Gales so that we can have dinner with Aurora, and then just travel along the edge of the desert down to here.
Okay. And you're gonna pass by that white rock and not even check on it? Okay.
Okay, fine. We'll check on the White Rock.
I was joking. That's up to you.
Which may or may not even be there.
Yeah. The path is entirely up to you guys, so.
Does this sort of path look good to you guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Just so you're aware, you're not going to get. It's going to be about afternoonish when you reach Misty Gale, so it won't be technically dinner time yet.
We can wait a few hours.
Are you going to rest there for the night as well, then?
I feel like we might as well at that point.
Yeah.
Okay. You do that. You, make your way over to Misty Gales. It seems to be a rather uneventful day, but you go there, you get your dinner cooked by Aurora. She seemed kind of a little disappointed you weren't there for the previous dinner, but she was glad to see you there for now, and then after a night's rest, you're off again. So, are you going, what pace are you going?
I mean, that's pretty far away, guys. Do we want to try to hoof it?
I kind of feel like doing that.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Ye-
feeling it too.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. We're going speed then. Alright. Then at fast pace, you could get to pretty much here by the end of the day.
We're like halfway, pretty much.
Yeah.
A little more. Okay.
In fact, you'll get to Gwaybold the next day if you're going fast speed. But since you are going fast speed, it's time I finally have you guys do this. Everyone, roll me a d6.
Oh.
And I will pretend I'm totally not stealing this from anywhere else.
Ah, no!
How's it feel, Crow?
Interesting. You know, I was kind of hoping. Alrighty. So as you are traveling, everyone give me perception checks.
Is that disadvantage because we were going fast?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a 14 for Renniel.
Oh, that
Oh.
20.
There's a natural 1 there, so I'm not even gonna do the
Of
math.
course.
Wow, Renniel being the most observant for once.
This is amusing. The dice do not like you now. Okay, let me roll something here. Oh, wow. Your low perception actually doesn't matter. Okay, Reniel, as you guys are walking and hoofing it, you feel like you're being watched.
Be on alert, boys. We are being watched.
I don't see anything. I would have seen it. I think.
Can Renniel tell from where he's being watched?
Okay, I'd say it's less you're being watched and more you're being followed.
Okay, he just kind of, whoops.
He kind of
he-
slams his cup onto the ground. Gotcha.
No, I've got a chip can that I got from the store today, and I was just kind of fiddling with it, and I squeezed it, and the top popped off. Anyway, okay, so Renniel's just gonna kind of look behind him.
You don't see anything there.
All right, Miracle Eye.
You still don't see anything there. It looks like you see behind you that there's like plenty of cover. It's like you're close to the Great Lanwell Forest, so there's plenty of like trees and natural cover.
Hang on, fire truck.
There's not a fire truck behind you.
There is now. You said there's trees and plenty of cover?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a piece of like terrain up ahead that we could go behind and just kind of make it look like that's where the path goes, and we can wait for whoever's following us to catch up?
So you're looking for like a hill or some trees or something?
Yeah.
Like I said, there's plenty of trees around, so there is a few trees you can use for cover ahead.
Okay, when we get to like cresting a hill or going around a corner or something like that where we would just naturally go out of sight of any potential followers, I'm gonna kind of like pull everybody behind a tree or behind a rock or something like that and wait and see if anybody shows up.
Okay. As you are doing that, roll stealth because you're trying to avoid being noticed. Luckily, since Sergey is not here, this actually kinda, I mean, he is here, but I'm not gonna roll for him, so luckily this will actually be a bit easier for you.
There we go.
Is it just him rolling, or does everyone
All of
have
you.
to? Okay. And would I be on grassy terrain?
Yes.
All right. Plus 11, that's 28.
Ooh boy. Okay, so you all shuffle on behind this tree growth. You feel like Raniel was maybe not as prepared to be hiding as you guys are, but the two of you managed to cover his tracks before he could give you away.
I like to imagine his tentacle whiskers were just kind of still floating out of the way, and they just pulled him back behind wherever we're hiding.
But yeah, you begin hiding, and as you're hiding, none of you are you just standing there, or are you
Well,
looking back in the path?
I mean, the whole point is to look back on the path.
Okay.
Reniel's going to be looking elsewhere, just in case we try to get flanked or something.
Okay, where's Reniel looking?
I'm going to say he's looking about a 90-degree angle away from the path, so that if something tries to come up behind us, he catches it out of his peripheral vision.
Okay. So you hide. Eugene and Sergey, you don't notice anything, but Reniel, through Miracle Eye, you see a Delcatty run between trees.
Oh boy. He's going to telepathically tell the others it's behind us.
Okay.
Does he recognize the Delcatty?
Yes.
Okay, hang on, I'm trying to remember her name. Okay.
Seems Dana's parents are after me again.
we didn't need those two coming back.
Well, what's your plan for dealing with them?
Kill them.
So what, you want to just jump out and start fighting them here and now?
Well, I could fireball the tree they are behind, but it would start an entire forest fire at that point. And besides, I only spotted one of them.
Mm,
Right.
There's 2 of them. They're quite powerful with magic, so get ready to stop them. Could we just...
So I think here's what Renyl's gonna do. He's probably just gonna Storm Sphere like in proximity of him himself. So like, well, without a battle map, it's hard to say exactly where he's gonna put it. But that's what I'm gonna say he is preparing to do.
Let me just throw you. I did have a different thing prepared, but that thing's a bit messy. So let me just say, here's your generic stuff. Here's you, and we'll say the Delcatty is hiding here.
All right, can I pick? Am I happening to pick up on the other one through Miracle Eye at this moment?
You are not.
Okay. Let's see here. That's about what Storm Sphere is. If I put it there. Stupid motorcyclist. Okay.
You apparently have a lot of. We can't hear any of it, but you apparently have a
Oh,
lot of
okay,
noise
good.
coming from your area.
I'm glad you can't hear it because I certainly can. Makes it hard to think. Okay, yeah. Give me that. Okay. He'll probably situate it right here, but he's going to yeah, you know what? He's just going to do that, and he's going to start shooting lightning at her, or her, or him, depending on which parent it is.
Okay, make an attack roll.
+9 or +10 at this point?
You haven't leveled up at all, so you're still level 8.
Well, yes, but you see, I forgot to update my spellcasting modifier on my sheet, so it is +10 now.
Oh.
18.
That hits.
Alright. $10 lightning damage.
Okay. And as you zap the Delcatty, you see him or her running off, realizing that their cover has been blown.
Alright. Let's see how far away that is. Is it
I
farther
have
away
it.
than shown?
I haven't actually measure. Let's see what it started there. From the sphere, she would be about 110 feet away.
What a waste of a 4th level spell.
Oh, I have a feeling they're going to try again.
Perhaps, but I have one last message for her.
And he's going to throw a Robostar star at her.
Go ahead.
9. 26 force damage.
You hear a loud yelp, but beyond that, you just hear running.
Where are you going? Don't you want to see your daughter again?
Oh, come on, Renyl, don't be so macabre.
They are the ones who wanted it.
Yes, but it's a direct result of what I warned you about way back then.
He just kind of shrugs.
Oh, let's just go on.
If we see them again, I'll try dispelling their invisibility.
Okay.
Alright. So, you continue on and you reach the point you see on the map without too much more incident.
Okay, we've got to be careful when we camp tonight. I have a feeling they're going to try this again.
Well, I'll do what I can to protect us, at least.
Okay. And then I'll take some extra precautions and put around my like a little alarm system around our camp.
Okay. You do that. Are you setting up the Eldritch tent?
Yes.
No, we are using the hut.
Yeah.
Porque no las dos.
We don't speak Moonspeak.
That's not Moonspeak. That's Spanish.
Everything that isn't English is Moonspeak. Alright, so you go there and you set up the tent.
I mean, I'm not gonna stop.
Oh, sorry, not
Renewal.
the hut. I meant sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, when I said tent, I meant hut. You now have the hut surrounding you.
All right. Well, Reniel will take last watch as he typically does.
Yeah, I'll take the first one as I typically do.
Alright, I guess I'll go second.
Okay, and I guess Sergey's gonna take the nondescript third watch.
Evidently.
Okay. Alright. So, you prepare your beds, you set up watch. Eugene, roll me perception.
Right. Go to my stats and +9. Okay. 23.
Okay. So, as you're setting up camp, you hear footsteps around you. You don't see anything. It doesn't appear anything is actively happening, but you definitely hear footsteps coming and going occasionally.
Are they close nearby?
They seem to be somewhat off in the distance. They seem to be a bit distanced from you, but they're close enough that you can still hear it.
All right, I'm going to walk over to them. I'm gonna be pretending to picking up firewood.
Can you leave the hut and get back in?
Oh, right. I thought
I-
you said setting up camp, so I think I
I
can.
can't-
But
I can't leave it, but anybody else can.
Yes, that is how the hut works.
Okay, so yeah, you can do that then.
okay. No, you said while we were setting up camp, so I thought.
Tent again. We're all
yeah.
confused by that darn tent.
All right.
Righty, look at
Okay.
what you've done with us. But anyways, you're gonna go up pretending.
No. I thought I was setting up camp while this was happening, but I was taking watch while this was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am going to let me look at what I have at my disposal here. I'm just gonna say, I can hear you.
Suddenly, the noises stop for a moment, and for a while, you don't hear anything.
You're not gonna get the drop on us.
You're given no response.
What do you want?
Silent still.
Well, I probably know what you want. But is there anything else it'll take to make you go away?
You're still given no words or anything.
Well, we're gonna continue sleeping here. And I'm gonna tell my friends to be extra careful, so you may as well leave. And then I'm just gonna continue my watch.
Okay. Your watch, for the most part, seems to pass without an incident.
All right. Then I'll wake up Harold and tell him about how I hear noises out there.
Fantastic.
If they, when they're aware of if we're, when it seems we're aware of their presence, they don't seem like they want to act. So
Right, I'll let you know if this gets out of hand.
yeah, I go down to sleep.
I'll be back in like 15 seconds. Give me just.
Okay. Alright, Harold, you're next. Roll me a perception check.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, 19.
Okay. Harold, off in the distance, not too far away, but a bit of distance, you see what looks like to the south, you see what looks like barricades being placed on the ground.
So like somebody's assembling makeshift wooden barricades or something.
They look to be already assembled and they're being placed. You can't see anybody
Okay.
doing it, but you see makeshift barricades suddenly just appearing to the south.
Hmm. I'm gonna maybe give this a couple minutes and try to see what's going on here, because I mean, we're in a fairly wide open area, aren't we? We could pretty easily just go around these.
Well, it's a little hilly in this specific area, but yeah, it looks like it should be fairly easy to climb around it. But as you watch, it seems like they're trying to go between the rougher edges of the cliffs you would need to climb up to. It seems like they're trying to barricade you into this area.
Do I see anything similar happening from in any other direction?
It looks like it's also happening once they're done with the fronts. It also looks like it's happening to the sides. It's going outwards, like sort of like this to this to this to there, sort of like that.
Okay. I think at this point I'm going to wake up the others.
Okay, you do that.
I don't know if they're planning on making their move tonight or tomorrow, but they're trying to trap us in here.
Can Renyel see the barricades from where we're at?
Yeah.
Are they like simple wooden ones?
No, they're a combination of wood and metal, but they do seem to be. It seems like it take a bit more force than just lighting it on fire to cause them to completely combust.
Okay.
And you, Reniel, give me, since it's dark at this point, or does Miracle Eye not care about darkness? I just realized.
Not really, no.
Okay, you can see not only is there two Delcatty there, but there also appears to be a number of Poniard who are setting up these barricades.
Okay. Well, Renyel has dark vision anyway, so.
Yeah, so there you are.
With my goggles of night, can I see the poniard?
The goggles of night are just night vision.
60 feet of dark vision.
Then no, you cannot.
Okay,
No.
Renyel's going to alert them to the poniard then.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I think we should probably make our stand now before this gets any further out of hand.
I agree.
Where's the biggest group of them?
DM.
Right now, you notice that currently they seem to be grouped up on the left and right sides. The biggest group seems to be a group of 4 to the right side, whereas a group of 3 are busy setting up the barricades on the left side.
Are you planning to hypnotic pattern?
You know it.
4 on the right, 3 on the left.
Alright.
I will
Okay.
fireball the side opposite you do.
Sounds like a plan. Hopefully if I can hit them, they'll turn visible again. Alright, I am going to step out of the hut, which unfortunately will dispel. Well, actually, no, before I do that,
Is there a vantage point I could like kind of get to, sneak to, before we drop the hut?
How good are you at climbing?
Not that good, but
In fact, let me.
Get
So,
the chalk!
since at this point in time you basically have visuals on most of what's happening, let me just hand you the map.
Battle
I have
map.
a couple of ways we can handle this. If I stay in here, I won't be able to help you guys with this at all, but you'll be able to retreat back in here and you should be pretty safe. Or I can try to take them all out, but we lose the hut if I do that.
Oh wait, no, it would have been, I forgot about this guy. It would have been 4 on the left, 4 on the right.
Let's see. Distances are accurate.
Yes, distances are accurate.
Remain where you are, Harold.
Okay.
Well then, best of luck with all this. I'm going to go ahead and give Reniel Bardic Inspiration.
With Reniel's Miracle Eye, do we know if they're invisible?
You don't, but you can tell. You guys can't see what Reniel's seeing, so.
Okay.
You don't. I don't think Miracle Eye specifically says yes, these are invisible, but you can extrapolate that.
Well, you said it
Okay.
has true sight, so he simply can't tell. He can just see them.
Yeah.
If something's invisible, he doesn't know it. He just sees it. So, Crow, do you have one of those thingies for the hut?
No, I don't, but I have like a bubble here.
Like just a white thing. Yeah, that's exactly the one I was thinking of, actually. Okay. Sonic, can you make that a prop?
Oh, yes, I can.
There we go. Okay. And this is basically a surprise round, right?
This would be a surprise round, yeah. So I'll have, if you're committed to this, I'll have you all roll initiative and take the surprise.
All right, so how would my Gloomstalker stuff activate? Because it says the first round of combat. Does the surprise round count as the first round?
I would assume so, yes.
Okay.
Reniel's ready to go.
It logically makes sense as the first round, so your surprise round would be the quote-unquote first round. And you
Okay,
rolled
well-
in the wrong chat, but alright.
Should I roll again, or am I taking the nat one?
You're taking the nat one.
Okay.
Where's Sergey?
Sleeping.
Sleeping, yes. Okay. And you got that. Alright, I didn't get you guys tokens. There, Eugene, there's your token.
Okay.
Okay. Raniel. You're first in the surprise round.
He's gonna step out here and fireball these guys.
Alright. Tons of deck saves are in their future then.
I think I'm gonna empower that.
B sharp 1 failed, B sharp 2 failed, while the B sharp are epically failing. Okay, all the B sharp failed and Delcatty 1 passed.
Okay, that's good. Let me grab my calculator. I hate not being able to do simple arithmetic in my head.
I think that's 37.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, we'll go with 37.
Okay. Alright. You do that blast, you see that the barricades there are not holding up that well to your fireball, but they are still standing, and yeah, you blast them.
Okay.
Harold?
All right. I think given our strategy, the best thing I can do is work on setup. So I'm going to go ahead and use Psychic Terrain.
Okay. You now have a psychic terrain.
And
Eugene. Oh, sorry.
yeah, that is good. I will go ahead and give Bardic Inspiration to Eugene.
Okay,
Alright.
Eugene.
All right, I'll go out here. And I don't see the Delcatty, right?
All right. You attack, so I need to roll for something. I'll answer that in just a second. Oh, you do see the Delcatty.
All right,
Concentration roll failed badly.
time to go ham. All right, I'm going to activate Zephyr Strike. And I'm going to attack. So natural 18, which turns into a 28.
That hits.
All right. So D8. This is normal arrow.
Okay.
I did not say anything. And then D8 for the Zephyr Strike. Oh. And then the sneak attack. Or, yeah, the sneak attack. 3d6. And then I'm going to activate Favored Foe, which is another d4. One. And then I'm going to attack with Gloomstalker Conclave.
All right. If you get a nat 20 here, I will laugh so hard.
24.
That hits.
Believe, let me just read it. Or no, it's... okay, yeah, an extra d8. Okay, so just another d8. Six. Do you want me to tally that up, or are you keeping track?
I'm keeping track.
Okay. And then I'm going to go whoop back inside the hut.
Okay. All right. And that is your surprise round. Seeing this, both Delcatty go, Ambush failed. Get out of here. This Delcatty is going to use Misty Step to warp. And then run off the map. This Delcatty is going to do the same. And the B sharp now all have oh crap looks on their faces. Raniel, it's your turn.
I'm assuming the Delcatty are not in view anymore.
Yeah, they'd be far behind a lot of cover and stuff. And they'd be, let's see, how many feet away from the edge would they be? The Delcatty to the right would be 30 feet away from where the edge is. And the Delcatty to the left would be 90 feet away from where the edge is.
Okay.
So from your position, the Delcatty to the left would be 50 plus 90 feet away, and the Delcatty to the right would be exactly 100 or 105 feet away.
Okay. Rendel's just gonna step out of the thing and say,
Depart at your leisure. I am not interested in killing you.
and then he's going to walk back in.
Harold?
Okay, yeah, I still want to keep this thing up. I am going to cast Minor Illusion and create the image of a tree stump overlapping me.
Okay. You now have them stumped.
Ugh.
And that is going to be my turn.
I think I just created a bunch of psychic damage for Quill. Bishop or the Poniard all look to each other and they go, "What are we supposed to do? We're supposed to kill him, but he's in that barrier thing. We can't do anything." And they already left. Run, run! And it appears like they're all just gonna run. Are you gonna pursue them?
I'm going to chase one of the Delcatties down.
Okay. Are you sure
Eugene,
about?
where are you going?
I'm going to stop them.
Do not bother. They will be back.
Well, I want to get one of them. And
Go
I'm
for
gonna
the left one then.
yeah. I'm gonna cast Zephyr Strike on myself again. And I am going to so that gives me 30 more feet of movement, so I now have 60. And I'm gonna get close to that one on the left.
Okay. 60 movement would get you about to there, and that one, or 60 movement would be not there, 60 movement. So it takes 45 movement for you to get off the map, and then the Delcatty has a 90 feet top of that, so math, 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 math. Okay. Okay, so 15. You are within 75 feet of that Delcatty that's running away.
Okay. Then I'm gonna use poison with that crawler mucus with the arrow, and I'm going to shoot it at it.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
20. 19. So that'd be like 28, 29.
Only 29.
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah,
yeah,
but I mean it's close to a crit.
fair enough. Yeah, that hits.
D8 plus 5. And the Zephyr Strike. Sneak attack.
Do you get sneak attack? Oh, right, yeah, advantage.
Yeah. And favored foe.
Okay.
And then they have to do a constitution saving throw.
Alright. Okay. Wrong thing. Okay. What's the DC on the con save?
13.
Okay, that's pretty low, but I've been pretty unlucky today when it comes to saves. Uh, he failed.
Okay, then he is poisoned and paralyzed for how long? Poisoned for 1 minute. Poisoned and paralyzed. It can repeat the saving throw at the end of its turns, ending the effect.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So you do that, and that Delcatty is, yeah, that Delcatty is basically stuck, I believe.
Sitting duck.
Its turn is gonna pass by, since it literally can't do anything. What are you gonna do?
I'm going to like knock it out.
Okay.
So, because I get like automatic crits if I
Yeah,
hit it,
I don't think there is any possible way you can. This isn't gonna happen.
and then I'm gonna drag it back.
Okay. You do that.
I got him or her.
Him. This one's him.
I got him.
Randall just kind of looks at this Delcatty. He ponders for a bit and he says,
I'll wait for him to wake up and give him the choice if he dies now or wait for his partner to join him.
I can't actually take it inside the hut.
all right.
No, you cannot.
Yeah.
Well, Randall looks at it from inside the hut.
Well, I guess we could tie him up. Do they have to use spellcasting focuses?
No.
Okay.
And it wouldn't matter because Misty's Step is just vocal.
Okay.
Or
Well,
is it vocal or I think it's vocal.
Yeah, it's just verbal.
Yeah.
and they have to see where they're going. So we can just blindfold and tie up.
On second thought, there is no point in being arrogant.
And he's just gonna grab onto the one of his whiskers is gonna wrap around the Delcatty's neck, and he's gonna cast shocking grasp.
Are you guys gonna let this happen?
I'm gonna try and stop it.
Like the instant Eugene touches the whisker, Reniel just kind of stops.
We can get more information out of him.
Reniel complies.
So,
I
can a
am not
rope?
sure what sort of information you are looking for. They are simply parents out for revenge.
Well, I don't think anything is. I think any information is good information. You know, and maybe the reasoning could lead to something better. I understand, yes, leaving them alive is a liability, and if they're useless, then maybe we shouldn't, but I feel like we should hear them out before we just do something like that.
So do we have a blindfold on it?
I would have put like a cloth. I have some cloth in my inventory I can use as a blindfold.
All right. I'm gonna pull out an oranberry. You can give him this if you feel like it.
Okay, so after he is secured and blindfolded, I'll give him the oranberry.
Okay. You give him the oranberry and gets back up.
Okay. Like I told you, it didn't work. Do you have anything to say?
Delcatty notices the situation. Just finish me.
Well, do you know what your daughter did?
I'll something that warranted death by his hands, especially not as cruel of a death as he gave her.
I
She
wouldn't be so sure about that.
She sabotaged our ship. She sold us out
To
to
throw her in,
pirates for a whim.
to throw her in jail. You didn't have to kill her.
She was literally willing to kill the entire crew because she was bored.
Then throw her in jail so she can be reformed. You didn't have to kill her.
There's no reforming somebody like that.
You didn't have to do it.
If we hadn't stepped in, plenty of more people would have died.
Then step in.
We did.
That's not what I'm arguing. I'm saying you didn't have to kill her.
Maybe not.
That's how the dice fell.
What kind
Would
of
she?
a relationship do you think you would even be able to have with somebody like that?
I don't care. Something could have happened. Anything. But that's not a chance you'll have anymore.
There's consequences for what she did. And, I don't think she should have died, but when you do stupid stuff like that, that's what happens. When you play with fire, you get burned. And yes, she got burned badly.
Then let me ask you this.
She was tortured to death. Is that really what she deserved?
Well, she wasn't tortured to death.
She
At
was
least that wasn't my
tortured to death.
understanding.
How do you know what happened to her?
We were told
By whom?
by the other person you killed, the leader. He was scrying on her at the time. Or well, he had
Interesting.
someone scrying on her at the time. One of his mages.
So were you part of Leviathan's Claw as well?
We didn't want to be, but it was the only chance we could get vengeance.
Let's assume you got it. What does it accomplish?
We remove a murderer, a cruel, merciless murderer from this world.
Okay, I have a question. You obviously want Renyel dead. What were you gonna do to us?
Leave you. We were technically paid to get rid of all of you, but we didn't care. That wasn't the task, or that wasn't what we wanted to do. We just want him. The rest of you we don't care about.
And if we got in the way, would we just be sent to jail? I mean, you did a pretty big number on me, and when we encountered you in with the pirates.
I don't care what would happen to you.
Ex-
We'd take you out, and then we'd take him out permanently.
and would that make you murderers then? Why don't you just send us to jail? We I didn't kill anyone.
I don't see how you guys factor in our vengeance against him.
Because we're with him.
And they would protect me.
And then we take you out, and then make sure he's killed.
Now, when you say take out, do you mean simply knock unconscious, or do you plan to kill them as well?
Knock unconscious. The rest of the Leviathan's Claw wouldn't be so merciful, but we didn't intend on outright killing you. It's only his blood we want.
It won't work. Even if he were to let you go plot again, we'd beat you again. We're a little busy right now, too. And if you want someone to blame for your daughter, it's her to blame. She was stupid. She was arrogant,
Are you
short-sighted.
done yet?
No, I'm not. Because I don't want to kill you. Renniel probably wants to.
I am indifferent, honestly. If he promises not to attack me anymore, I will simply let him go.
I know, but he's making this very hard.
I am aware. I am simply telling you how I would act.
Because I have no doubt if you kill him, the other one's gonna be even more mad.
I'm keenly aware of that. I know how revenge works.
Yeah.
Well, you're not getting anything out of me, so go ahead, finish me off.
Is that really what you want? Do you want your partner to be left without you?
It's not like it matters. You're gonna kill her eventually anyways, aren't you?
It doesn't have to be that way. You could simply convince her not to attack me anymore, and the two of you can live out the rest of your lives. Perhaps replace your daughter, even.
You act like that's something that could be replaced. Just like that? You think that's how this works? I
My
don't.
parents would likely be in the same situation if you were to kill me. And even if not, they were in that situation before. As up until recently, it seemed like I was going to die no matter what.
Look, the point is, we can keep going with these cycles of revenge and killing people. But why? Yes, if things continue the way they are, we will probably be left with no choice but to end up killing both of you eventually. I don't want to do that, and none of the rest of us want to do that. And I'm sure you guys don't want to die.
We can end it right here. Yes, I I wish things could have ended differently with Dana, but he put us in that situation. And yes, maybe Renniel went a little too far, but that was because of what she did. You can maybe even agree with me. What she did was. What's your opinion on that? You know what she did.
And yes, I didn't like that she was doing it. I wanted her to be stopped. I wish she was stopped instead of killed. I wish she was given the chance to turn her life around. And maybe she wouldn't have. But wish she had that chance, and she was never given it, thanks to him.
Well, when you put yourself in those situations, you're not always given the best possible outcome. If I
Uh,
like if I start like walking blindfolded around here and someone mugs me, like I can't expect things are going to work out fine every time. You, especially when you do stuff like that.
She was captured, she was powerless, and she was tortured.
she was with Leviathan's Claw, a bloodthirsty group of pirates. When you sign up for a group like that, you know what you're getting into, and death is most certainly on the roster of things that could happen.
Yes, but she didn't have to.
This is getting nowhere.
Listen, you cared about your daughter, obviously. Do you care about your wife or whoever that was?
He's silent to that.
Do you want them potentially to be in this situation too? On the cusp of death. And you seem to be all for people reforming. Why don't you think Reniel has killed you yet?
Because you're not letting him.
No, he said himself he didn't want to do it.
Technically indifferent.
Indifferent. But
Because, rest assured, I could kill you without a second thought. And it wouldn't matter to me either way. I would sleep soundly afterwards. But Eugene has taught me a thing or two about what it means to be cared about. And I know that your partner cares about you. So, I am giving you another chance. You and your partner can leave, perhaps start a new family, or you can let your partner go through the same agony that you had when you lost Dana all over again, through you.
and eventually end up in the same place as you right now.
Only she will have nothing to hold on to anymore. The choice is yours.
I'm not going to step in. I'm going to sleep. And I just turn away from the conversation and just hunker down in my little roll.
He seems to be, well, in the position you have him. I'm contemplating. But he's otherwise silent.
Okay. I guess we'll go through Sergey's watch. Sergey will keep an eye on him, and then he'll go to Reniel's watch, and Reniel will talk to him then. If that is okay with the DM.
Yeah. That is okay with me.
Okay, so when it comes to Reniel's watch, he just kind of steps out of the tiny hut's hemisphere. And he says,
Have you made your decision yet?
Why? Why did you even do it?
Because she was a threat to everyone. If we let her go, she would simply have kept doing it. As my partner said, how do you reform someone like that, who puts the lives of others at risk simply because she was bored? That goes beyond pathological, even beyond me. I do not kill simply because I am bored. I only kill out of necessity.
You don't know that. You
I
don't.
know very well what I would kill for.
No, you don't know that she couldn't have been reformed. Maybe she just needed a slap in reality, and getting caught and thrown in jail would have given that to her.
I'm sure she could have made that proposition while I was telling her what I was going to do to her, but she did not. Rather than saying she was willing to reform, she instead opted to die. She made no effort. She made no effort to apologize for what she did.
Yeah, well, it's hard to make any effort to apologize when you're having your mind be spiked every second.
Oh, I gave her plenty of time before then, sir. And it does not take much to beg for your life. She did not even do that. So just think about that for a moment. She would rather die than apologize. What kind of person should be left running around when that is his or her philosophy?
You still don't know what could have been.
What if she was not your daughter? Would you still be saying the same thing? Or would you be saying, this is a pathological killer?
That's not the right word, but just roll with it.
That doesn't matter.
It does matter. And if you put your emotions aside for a moment, you would realize it.
I'd still I still wouldn't want her to. I still wouldn't want someone to have her blood on their paws.
That certainly would have been the better outcome, would it not have been?
Especially not the way you did it.
He just kind of shrugs.
It is what I had available to me at the moment.
You could
I
have
do not suppose it would make you feel any better, but I have taken to killing my targets with shocking grasp lately rather than mind sliver.
It's not exactly pleasant, no.
Oh, death is never pleasant, I'm sure. Regardless of how it happens.
She could have. I know she could have. She just needed a reality check.
You do not know that. Would you ever have thought she would have joined Leviathan's Claw in the first place?
I can't say that, no.
Then perhaps you did not know your daughter as much as you thought you did.
But she still should have had a chance. Even if it was a long shot, even if it was 1 in a million, she still should have had one more chance.
Wouldn't it be nice if everyone could have one more chance?
Yes, it would, but you took that from her. You made it so she couldn't have one more chance.
You are trying my patience, sir.
And Renyl's going to look off to the east as the sun starts rising.
I will appeal one more time for the sake of your partner. Simply leave me alone so that the two of you can go on living your lives.
And her death's gonna continue being meaningless to you, isn't it? Just another body that fell.
I don't think you understand what I am, sir. Maybe if I told you, you would understand. You see, I am infected by something called an Ultra Beast. And my emotions are effectively shut off. I have to actively try to feel anything. And even when I do, it is not guaranteed that I will feel anything at all. So yes, it will simply mean nothing to me until I am capable of feeling my emotions at full capacity again, if I am ever able to do that.
then. We'll stop attempting to kill you, but know that a creature like you does not deserve to be in society any more than you say my daughter should be.
Raniel closes his eyes for a moment, and then he says,
I cannot say that I disagree with you.
and he's going. His whiskers are going to reach over and take the blindfold off of him, and he's going to undo the ropes or whatever we've bound him with.
It was rope.
Rope.
Then go. And best of luck to you and your partner.
May your life be mercifully short. And with that, he teleports away. Well, teleports and runs away.
Raniel goes back to watching the sunrise, and he just kind of sits down like a cat basking in sunlight.
Okay, and as the rest of you wake up, that's what you all see as well.
I see like the empty ropes and like, what happened?
I let him go. At the very least, he said he was going to leave me alone. Whether he does or not is another thing.
Yeah.
But this is his second chance. We'll see if he takes it.
If he doesn't, do whatever you need to do.
I plan on it. And I will not have any mercy that time.
I understand. Well, we're almost there.
Raniel does the cat stretch and gets up.
I'm ready to depart when you are.
Where your like back goes up.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Are we gonna go on a fast pace again?
I believe that would be for the best.
Okay. Well, let's do it then.
Alright, guess it up then. You know what that means.
D6. Come on, show me the ones.
You want the random encounters?
No, but
Quill is getting his revenge today.
Okay. Okay.
okay, no nat ones or no ones.
Alright. So yeah, you guys head to Goibel Town. It's getting late afternoon, but you arrive in the town late afternoon.
Okay. Are we gonna head there right away?
I do not believe we have any other matters to tend to here.
Keep in mind, Shad is here.
Oh yes, I am well aware.
He says with murder in his voice.
I mean, we probably don't want to start anything out in the open like this, so just...
Oh, of course not. I would never.
Do I need to roll deception?
Can I roll an insight?
Do you guys, if you guys want to, I normally don't like to do that, but if you guys want to roll deception and insight, go ahead.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, all right. Okay, let's yeah. Why don't you take us there?
All right, I will lead the way.
Okay. So you begin make your way to the 9 o'clock area in this clockwork town. As you are doing that, though, make a perception check, everyone.
$22.
6. That's the Renial we know.
$22.
Okay. So, as you guys are walking through this town, you all seem to notice missing person posters around the town. And these missing person posters, all seem to depict Shad.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
Oh, well, I'm probably guessing it's the same situation.
I would be shocked if it was not.
Well, I don't think it changes our plans for the time being, at least.
No, it doesn't. We don't need to get sidetracked with this, because we're probably just going to come up with the same, what exactly we're suspecting about this.
And what are you
Probably.
suspecting about this, darlings? You hear from behind you.
Turn around and see who it is.
You look behind you and you see a Gossifleur.
What do you want?
What? No, hello? Hi, how are you doing? And you're such close friends with my boss, too.
Yeah, so
This really isn't the avenue to be discussing this.
That's fair enough, I can't deny that. Shall we, make our way to some place where we're gonna be less noticed?
that depends how important is what you want to tell us.
Well, it's less important, but more an information exchange I'd like with you, and I'd say you guys would very much be interested in hearing what I have to say.
I look to the other two, or three.
You hear in your head.
I am interested in what she has to say.
Sure.
Be on your guard.
Naturally.
Fine.
Alright, follow me. She begins motioning for you guys to follow her into an alleyway.
Okay. Yeah, we follow her.
Alright.
As we're going into the alleyway, I'm gonna just look behind me and see if anything's chasing us or following us.
It does not appear you're being followed, no.
Okay.
Raniel, we got any surprise watchers?
I guess Renial will pop a miracle eye and look around.
You look behind Reniel and it appears the same. You do not appear to be being followed by anyone invisible either.
We seem to be in the clear.
Harold just gives a small nod.
Okay. Yep. She takes you into this alleyway, looks to you guys, and she says, "You guys are in for quite a pickle in your future if my future senses are to be believed. But,
Is that so?
yeah, but luckily for you, I happen to have some information that can hopefully help you avert your terrible fate, let's call it.
Well,
And,
we would always be interested in hearing that.
alright, and in exchange, I believe you guys have information on let's say, a base belonging to a group called the Purge.
Perhaps.
All right. If you give me the location of that base, and this will all be under Zone of Truth, by the way, just to ensure there's no attempts of deception, though you're free to do the same to me, darlings, and I won't even resist it. But tell me,
Randall's going to subtle cast detect. He's going to say, hang on, I'm trying to remember what it's called.
Your ring of mind shielding. Take it off.
that won't affect the uh, Zone of Truth, I can assure you.
How do we know you are not resisting your own zone of truth?
I'm telling you guys to cast Zone of Truth yourself. And you could probably guess the part where I was expecting Ice to be here. For the sake of it, I don't know if it would have been, he would have put it in a spell list or not, but I'll say, for the sake of it, if you want me to, I'll say that Sergey will cast Zone of Truth if you want him to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll just make this easy. Press the easy button.
Okay. Are you going to agree to this information exchange?
What do you plan on doing with this information?
Oh, you haven't even cast Zone of Truth yet. Well, I won't lie. As of right now, I don't have anything in particular I plan to do with this information. After all, the situation between the groups right now are changing quite constantly, quite dynamically. So, for the most part, this information is just information that I could use at a later date. And I can repeat that under your Zone of Truth if you wish to, for me to as well.
How about this? We'll do the Zone of Truth thing, but we're allowed to ask you 3 questions, and you're allowed to ask us 3 questions under the Zone of Truth.
Hmm,
Why limit it?
Probably because she doesn't want to spill everything.
an interesting proposition, though. I did only plan on asking you one question and giving you one piece of information. Imagine I know basically everything else you guys would have to tell me.
I don't mean to toot our own horn, but we know quite a bit.
Ah, yes, but I deal in information. There's quite a bit I've learned. Heck, as part of my information, you'll also learn a bit more about the where as well. So I think I give you my one piece of information, you give me your one piece of information, and then we could go on our busy days.
I do not have a
Yes.
question so much as a demand, and that is that Shad's blood is on my paws. If you run into him and you plan on killing anyone within the Purge, you are to let him live.
Assuming you're still alive in the future, I can agree with that.
Right then, let's not make this any more complicated than it needs to be.
Very well. Let us do the Zone of Truth then, and we will begin. She casts Zone of Truth. Do any of you plan on stopping it?
No.
No.
Alright, and Sergey casts his own Zone of Truth, and he tells you that she does not resist it. Very well, darlings. As I said, tell me where the Purge's base is, and I will tell you what I know.
I'll let Harold do it because he actually saw
It's in a park in the middle of Port City. I described the location where I saw Estes going through that secret door. It's heavily magically guarded. You're not getting through there easily.
Interesting. I'll have to keep that in mind. Very well. Now for my piece of information. A party that I'm sure you know, it's called Fleffel. He's planning an ambush at you in some form of mystery dungeon that seems to be called the Nexus of the Old World. From what I understand, the dungeon itself seems to depict the the ancient war spoken only of in legends between Kyogre and Groudon that first formed Lanwell, if you believe those silly old tales in any case. So the dungeon itself is filled with fire and earth, along with water and electricity. And, well, Reniel, you're lucky because he planned on conscripting members of the CLS and members of the Purge there. He's got 3 members of the CILS. Their current leader, since the previous one is presumed dead by the Purge, along with a Clefable noble, or former noble, and a B-sharp. And we believe, though are not entirely certain, among the Purge, they'll have Estesis, Shad, and Old Thorny Boy.
Oh,
They're
this will be interesting.
they're to be taken into separate chambers so they don't interfere with each other. And Fleffel, I believe he doesn't expect any single one of them to be able to kill you. Instead, he's hoping that they war of attrition you, that you guys, through going through the dungeon and through fighting them, will eventually be weakened so much that if you do meet him, you'll die. Of course, it's not just them. He also has prepared a squad of Ultra Beasts to fight you in one other chamber, and he's got a special group prepared for a 4th group that will ambush you.
And now he's got past Paradox Pokemon.
That is his plans in a nutshell.
How's he getting the CLS and Purge to get on board together with this?
Oh, they're somewhat aware that the other is doing it because they both heard that they've both basically ended up doing the same sort of plan of disappearing. But beyond that, they are not working with each other, and in fact, the other group, or at least I know the CLS is, the Purge probably is as well. They're hoping that you finish off the leaders of that group, so when they finish you off, it'll be easy for them to just continue their plans basically unopposed.
This 4th group isn't you, is it?
She gives us a coy smile and says, "You'll have to figure that one out later."
The fact
Well,
you're
if
not
it wasn't,
answering.
you would have denied it. So why do you intend to oppose us?
Oh, simple. Doing so got me this piece of information that got me your piece of information. I don't really have much of a stake in the fight, to be entirely honest.
Then you
Sure,
clearly know nothing about what this fight is about.
no, nothing, don't really care. It's either or.
You claim to be interested in getting information, yet you're not even bothering to figure out what all is at stake here.
What makes you so sure I don't know? But I'm merely not acting. Oh, I know Fleffel doesn't have good plans for this world. Or at least for this continent. I don't know his exact plans for it, but his plans don't interfere with, let's say, my objective.
If your objective has anything to do with this world at all, it interferes.
If you say so, darling.
You do realize he intends to turn the entire continent into a giant mystery dungeon, right?
Oh, fascinating. So that's what he's been planning all this time.
And that doesn't concern you in the slightest? You don't see how that might be a bit of a problem?
Oh, I imagine it's going to be quite an amazing problem, yes. The question to me is not, will it succeed or the question to me is not what he's doing. The question to me that I'm curious about the answer to is, will it succeed or will it fail?
Do you think Raven is on board with this?
Oh, he's definitely not. Otherwise, he wouldn't have ordered us to all to stand down and wait for Fluffle to be done in before we begin acting anew.
So you're going rogue then?
Weren't you the one who told me that I have my own agenda in all this?
Renil is going to psionically cast Sending to Raven and tell him that Lady Sarah has gone rogue.
He he responds with a sudden wait, what?
Renil cannot elaborate further currently.
What could you. How could you not want to stop this? There is literally no way that this doesn't negatively impact you.
I could think of a few ways, but of course I know why I'm here and what I'm doing. You don't. Either way, that doesn't particularly matter too much. Frankly, are you asking all this because you want me out of the fight?
Partially, yes.
Then aside from your moral quandaries or whatever, what do you have for me that'll convince me to stay out of this?
The fact that the entire continent will literally become uninhabitable if they succeed.
I don't think you've realized I'm already no longer concerned about that. That's not my goal in all this. Do you have
We're
something
probably
else, darlings? I'll take money, I guess, if you have nothing else.
What if I had something, documentation from the CILS to pass over to a new leader?
Oh, interesting. They have documentation to pass on to a new leader.
Maybe. I could probably get it. What would that get us?
Huh.
All these warnings you've given us, do you make that easier for us somehow?
Uh, well, I'd say that's certainly something that'll convince me not to join in the fight.
Well, I think I want something a little more, not just you. I want you to tip it in our favor.
Interesting. Well, unfortunately, there's only so much I can do. I came in for information, not for anything else, but if I were you, I would recommend stopping the flow of his reinforcements before they even come, personally.
Hmm. Thanks. Okay, we're done.
Oh, you're not giving me it? Alright.
Well, we never made a deal. You just told me.
Oh, I was going to recommend that to you anyway, darlings.
Well, if you were going to recommend that, then there's no reason to fulfill this request.
Well, it was to get me out of there. But if that's not within your interests, then that's not within your interests.
Well, if you're going to go in there, you realize you're going to fight us.
Oh, I'm well aware. And I'm
Would you
well.
like a foretaste of that, Lady Sarah?
And he's going to cast Psionic Lance on her.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
He's
What's
miracle-eyeing before this, by the way.
okay? What's the save?
It's only 16.
I meant what stat?
Oh, int. I know she's gonna pass. I know her intelligence is off the charts.
Yeah, she passed.
Alright, half a 31 psychic damage.
Okay. As you do that, she taps her forehead and gives a very bored, well, ow. But, to be entirely honest, darlings, death doesn't scare me. In fact, if you do kill me in there, it'll lead to some interesting things. But till then, ta-ta. She snaps her fingers and she disappears. Not in the sense that she's invisible, you don't even see her, Reniel.
Like a poof.
Yeah. Yes. Whatever popping sound effects you want to make.
So we have like no idea Reniel even did this, by the way. Because he psionically casted it. Okay.
He's going to telepathically inform both of them that he has informed Raven of her rogueness, and that he probably needs to follow up with Raven on that.
Yeah, maybe tell him about everything.
It will be hard to do that in 25 words or less.
Well, before we go to bed, maybe you could tell him and lots of
Cannibalize some spell slots, yes, I could probably do that.
yeah, whatever those are.
What's a spell slot?
Oh, it's something I came up in my own research I was doing with my father a long time ago. Don't worry about it.
Okay, well, we better head to the place we were
An
going.
appointment.
Okay. Then that's what you do. You seem to get no more interruptions as you begin making your way over to their base. You go through the abandoned building, quote unquote, and yeah, you're in their base. You see, as you enter their base, you see Christelle and Ave seem to be focusing on a map as of right now. and Tarek, Ricky, and Drazra all seem to be just lounging around. But as you walk in, they all look up and Christelle says, "Oh, good. I was worried about you guys since there had been no contact for a while. We were debating on using sending to speak with you just in case. But it's good to see you all in here."
Well, good to finally see some friendly faces.
Have things
We
been
have a lot to go over, but it's too delicate to share through any means other than directly face to face.
It's that important, I see. All right, everyone, we've got visitors, and it sounds like there's important information. Stand ready. And you see everyone sort of approach in listening range to hear what's going on.
Yeah, I guess between us, we're gonna update them on, finding tentatively where the Weirden tree is, on potentially having the tools to access, crap, what was it called? The path to the world before, whatever it's called.
Path to the old world.
Yeah, though Sarah's called it the Nexus. But either way, that's what you know it as, and that's what Sarah's called it, but it doesn't really matter either way.
What's been going on with the Purge and the CILS, our troubling interaction recently with Sarah. I'm also going to propose the hints of an idea of what might be going on with Sarah. We were in Blackrock Mountain. We encountered a Miss Magius in there who seemed to still be herself, but she was somehow inhabiting the dungeon regardless. I suspect Sarah intends to deliberately make the same sort of thing happen. To die while this place is converted into a dungeon and permanently reside there.
I see. You hear Robert say, "To think someone would be that insane to be willing to live in a situation like that."
Why don't you ask the guy in the ring?
All right. He hasn't contacted me for a while. I'm going to attempt to make contact with the poor lost soul currently trapped around my finger.
Okay. You do that, and he says, "Oh, you again. I was hoping you guys would stop. I was hoping you guys were just forgot about me or something." What
Have
you?
you been aware of everything going on? I don't know how well you can hear what's going on from in there.
I've been kind of trying to ignore you. Trying to figure out how I can be free from this dang ring.
We'll look into that if we can find a way. You don't happen to know anything about what that former comrade of yours might be up to, do you?
What former comrade?
Lady Sarah.
Saris, actually.
Oh. Guess I left it in my notes wrong.
That's what I had in my notes too, man.
I guess I didn't emphasize the second S that well. Oh well. Anyways. What do you mean? She's frick it, why do I even bother? She's our informant. Well, she is also one of our main researchers, but she's mostly an informant. She goes around, gathers information, and spreads the word to the rest of us.
She's gone rogue.
What do you mean she's gone rogue?
She
Has
has
she
her
been?
own agenda.
She
What,
does?
you've heard everything that's been going on about how Fluffle plans to turn this entire continent into a mystery dungeon, right?
Yeah, I got that part at least.
Yeah, she's completely on board with that.
Why would Lady Ceres be on board with that? That's
I
not her
was wondering
goal.
if you knew.
I mean, she's she said she's mostly an observer and researcher, but that's not that's not the point of our group. We're
I
not,
know. Maybe you'll want to pay attention to the conversation going on then. There's clearly something going on.
I mean, I'm dead. I'm not sure how much I could help, but I'll pay attention.
And I will try to find a way to get you out of there, okay?
Please do. I imagine death is a lot better than being stuck in a ring that I didn't even know getting stuck in. You would get stuck in when you die.
Anyway, I'm going to turn to Eugene. He doesn't know anything about it.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm lost then. I don't really know what she's up to.
We have these. I'm going to pull out the 2 stones from Renul and Alan.
I believe Renul has those.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure he does.
All right, one pops out on the right and one pops out on the left.
I
We
see.
think that we might be able to combine these to make a new prism crystal. But I'm a bit hesitant to do so because apparently if Black gets a hold of one, he gets a lot more powerful, and so I'd rather not combine them unless it's absolutely necessary.
Do you need them for some reason?
They're apparently necessary to get the Ultra Beasts back home.
I see. It's Ave. Ave walks over, takes a look at them, and she says, they're filled, by the looks of things, they're filled with energy from the distortions. But beyond that, I don't think combining them should be too difficult to do. It might take me a day or two, but I think I should be able to combine them, though I imagine it may require quite a bit of energy. Christelle then continues, but at the same time, if it powers a Fluffle, then you may want to take care of Fluffle first before you combine them, if I'm understanding things correctly.
That's a good point, actually. I guess we've been operating under the assumption we want to return the Ultra Beasts home first and then confront him, but there's no reason why we need to do it in that order.
Well, in that dungeon they're sending us to, it's going to be like a gauntlet of all these people we know.
Unless we take them out first.
Crystal thinks for a moment, and then Robert says, or what's this? Or if you did mention all the things you learned about that, correct?
Yeah.
About about the ambush. Yeah, I think we would have.
Yeah, okay. Robert says, or unless you manage to find a way to take care of Fleffel first. If he is heading this ambush, then taking care of him will prevent the ambush from happening.
We don't know where he is, though.
Do you have a way of drawing him out?
I suppose we're looking at it when we look at the stones.
Then perhaps what you want to do is, instead of walking into his ambush, perhaps you want to find a way to ambush him.
They have been watching us.
They've
Perhaps
been
we can.
watching you, and you see Christelle momentarily be a little afraid. She says, Ave, are warts to prevent scrying up? Ave nods and says, yeah, I keep them up all the time.
We tried to check for that before coming here. I did take that into consideration.
Okay, good. In any case, you may continue now. Sorry, I just don't want a security breach like that to happen. What were you going to say, Eugene?
I was going to say, yeah, we could draw him out when we know he's watching us.
We don't know when he's watching us, though.
But if we know he's watching us, then we could goad him into coming to us. Is
We could make a
there?
fake crystal, maybe?
I was thinking of something else too. We've got documents from the CILS, and if we were to forge this to say whatever we wanted to make it to say, we can step in the government somehow, and there's nothing they could do without revealing themselves.
So in other words, you've got a plan to take care of CLS and a possible plan to take care of Leffel then?
Well, Fleffel wants the stone, and yeah. We don't really have a surefire way for Fleffel, but CILS, we could forge these to say something completely different and has his signature on it.
Then among the groups, at the very least, that could be quite a useful plan.
What if it's to put someone in power that we can trust? Do we know anyone in Caldwelch we could trust to head a political position?
Closest person I can think of is Raven.
What if we make it you?
Excuse me?
That would really get their go if it was you or Sergey.
Well, the problem with that is that neither of us has any legitimate sort of claim to that sort of thing.
Yeah, but we can make it say that.
If you have their writing and have their signature, then assuming it's some form of will, it doesn't matter whether it's legitimate or not. You would basically have all official reigns to gain power for yourself, technically.
And what would they do about it? They can't do
Yeah,
anything
but isn't
about
it going to be suspicious? Like, I'm nobody.
They don't have anyone right now. Well, it doesn't have to be you. It's just someone we can trust, and well, we trust you. You could turn down the. It's more to get them to act, if anything.
In what way do you think they would act?
I don't know. I'm thinking of putting myself in that position. I want to stay hidden. And someone who I'm hunting or want gone just took my position. That would probably infuriate me, and I'd probably do something irrational and short sighted.
More than likely, yes.
And whatever that thing is, I mean, it can't be a good plan.
It certainly would be a way of getting them out in the open to take care of them.
And even if they do come out in the open, like, how do they explain that away?
Don't know if that's going to draw out Fluffle, though.
Yeah, this would get the CILS out of the picture, though.
So what do we do when they show up?
Well, the problem is we're gonna face like 4, maybe more waves of enemies. If we get rid of CILS out of the equation, that would only be 3.
Well, we currently know where they are. Why do we not simply go to where they are and get rid of them?
Well, this is to also expose them as well. I mean, the thought didn't cross my mind. We just go down there, moves ablazing. But, just to maybe expose them in the process, too. Weren't we looking for an answer to that, too, to inform the masses of what they were doing?
I suppose so. But if that is the case, then we should take out the purge first. Otherwise, when they find out that CILS has been exposed, they will pounce on it and start a war.
If only we could do it at the same time.
We have plenty of people here. Who says we can't?
I was just about to say much the same. You do have allies, though. It would lead to some difficulty, depending on how heavily guarded the purge is, but you do have allies.
I don't know, maybe Astra can owe us a favor and help us out. There's Raven. Um,
I would consider that Lytton. She and her friends looked rather powerful, though she did not seem at all interested in helping us.
well, I think everyone has a price. Maybe she'll give in to something.
I still have no idea where she is.
Well, can't Rainiel contact her?
Easily.
Maybe bring up some proposition.
He taps his chin with one of his whiskers and
Oh.
says,
I think I have something.
Okay, but settle that on that when we have a plan.
If you need help from the shadows, we can do our best, but we'd prefer not to take any major spotlight because that would lead to us getting exposed, and the Freelance Guild would more than likely,
Obviously.
Yes. The Freelance Guild would more than likely take that opportunity. But if you could think of some way from the shadows for us to help, you have our help as well.
I should warn you, Raven does know about you, and he knows that I'm a part of this organization.
They all seem to be shocked for a few moments. Then we need to evacuate base and find a new location.
I don't know about that necessarily. I think Raven's an ally.
How certain of you are this? Or how certain of this are you?
He seemed startled when I informed him that Lady Saris had gone rogue. And he has done nothing but help us. No deals, no bartering, simply gave us what we needed.
And he helped me find my brother.
Hope has been found?
Oh, I guess I forgot to mention that with everything else going on. Yeah, he's alive. Not himself anymore, but alive. And we were able to get him out of there, and hopefully somewhere he can be rehabilitated.
I'm glad you fulfilled your objective then. Or at least one that's more personal to you. Robert, I think for now we'll trust that we're fine. How long ago was this in the first place anyways, that Raven learned?
It was after we got back to Misty Gales after the last time we were here.
So that would have been quite a while ago then. I think if Raven was going to act then, he likely would have done so now. He would have had more than enough support in order to do something. I think at the very least we'll be wary, but for now we'll trust in this.
If I forgot to mention it, he's the leader of the Darkest Knights.
They have their own agenda, I'm sure.
Yes, but at least for the time being, it seems to align with ours.
Well, that is worrisome, but at the very least, the fact that we're allies in this should be a boon. It'll make it easier to go forward. Okay. As I said, we will trust and perhaps even work with him for now, if need be. We'll let you guys come up with what plan you may want. Come up with the plan, and if it needs us, we will act. And if it needs anyone else, perhaps you can get them to act as well.
Actually, if we're safe from being scryed on, I think right here would be the best place to make our plans.
Okay. You may indeed do so. Our anti-scry measurements are up. Oh, uh, by the way, no, actually, I'll let you plan first.
Oh, what was it? I mean,
Oh, I was going to ask if you had a team name ready for us, but I suppose now's not the time for that.
actually, we did come up with one.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, it's spare parts.
An interesting name, but very well. Okay. She hands each of you Delver's badges and says, "You are now the spare parts." Interesting, considering your position within this group and position within various other groups as well. Try not to be used by too many people, though.
Yeah.
All right. Our leads at this point seem to be trying to expose the purge in the CILS, the Weirden Tree, and the pathway to the old world.
The most we got on the purge is that note I gave to Raven and the badge. I'm sure we can ask for those things back.
Once we do,
But
I propose we lead an assault on the 3 of them, assuming they are all in the same location. The Purge specifically. Thornton, Estesis, and Shad.
I'd wager they're in that place we revealed to Saris.
He nods.
I believe it is best that we deal with them because the CILS simply wants their freedom to have their nobility. Meanwhile, the Purge wants to completely take over the continent. If we take out the Purge first, CILS will either not be interested anymore, or we can pick them off at a later date. They will not try to wage war on Aaron.
I think they absolutely will.
Yeah, I agree. They'll treat it as an opening, and that's why I kind of like the idea of maybe 2 teams doing this at the same time. I don't think we should just break the party in half. We need some more people to come with us who are probably on board. I don't know how Raven would feel about pretty much breaking his undercover status for this, but he might be a possible candidate. Litton might be a candidate. I think maybe Astrov will help us if we ask him. I don't know many other fighters that would be able to accompany us with this if we're to disrupt these 2 factions here.
If we could find them, Andrew, Pearson, Mirabelle might be possible allies. They were there, they heard everything that's going on.
Yeah. It's not guaranteed though. They might keep their allegiances with the guild and thus the purge.
I do not think it is wise to risk it on them.
Well, that's why I was going to send them against the CILS. I think we are definitely the ones who should be the ones to go after the purge.
If we go after the Purge first, we could have someone else stand in as the mayor until it is. If you are right, Eugene, that would more or less keep the CILS from doing anything, so we could come and deal with them at a later time.
Yes, that's true. Just I worry for the person put in that position. Like I said, they might do something short-sighted and irrational, and an assassination doesn't seem too far off or something like that. It's just if it was with us, I mean, we'd be expecting it.
It would need to be someone strong, and the strongest person I can think of is Raven. We will need to go back to
hang on, my blank.
Misty Gales to discuss it with him. I could try to discuss it with him through sending, but it would likely take several days.
Yeah, perhaps we just want to go back there and discuss it with them. But we'll keep a pin in that.
As for Fluffwell, it may be easier to get him to come out when he sees that his plan is being foiled.
Yeah, he might step in when we get these two off the board.
And once he is out of the way, that would likely take the Ultra Beasts out of the equation.
Yeah.
And that just leaves Lady Saris.
Well,
I don't know if she'd be on board if she wasn't going to have any support.
It seems to me like she has plans in motion already.
Right, but she might not show up in the dungeon specifically.
Possibly.
means it'll just be a home stretch if this all works out.
I don't think Graynell has anything further to say.
Yeah. So what do you think the plan is? We're gonna try and get Raven to sit in the mayor's seat while we go take care of the purge? Or
I believe
I
so, yes.
um I would have liked a way to maybe expose them, but
Well, couldn't you
Exposing them will not
expose?
be exposing them will not be necessary if they are destroyed.
Can you expose them the same sort of way you did with you're planning to with the CILS?
I suppose so. That with that note, we could just. I mean, who would we show? It's just with the CILS. It's I was counting on like their actions to show rather than because if lots of people witness them doing something like this, then I think it'd be over for them. With the purge, it's just we have a note and potentially a key to get into their hideout. Who would we even show that note to?
Christelle chimes in and says, "Do you have any allies from Aaron at all?"
There is Cyrus.
There's the entire town of Donsbury.
I do not imagine that they are very good fighters.
Well, I wasn't intending to think of them as fighters, more just people who would back us up sentimentally.
If you can give information to the right people and let it spread, that could cause them to be exposed. I don't know if it would help you stop them at all, but it would certainly expose them.
They have a base and that's another thing. The note said something. They have a base in Snowsea. That's actually where I'm from. There's someone named Minerva in there. Do you know who that is?
Minerva is the leader of the Freelance Guild in Snow Sea.
Apparently she's not sympathetic.
A possible ally for you then?
Perhaps. Maybe we should meet with her. And assuming she didn't mysteriously disappear too.
If she is not sympathetic and she is still there, then I would say we have a good chance of getting support from her.
I guess we could head there. Just really hard to come up with anything because there's so many moving parts here. But I think we haven't met this Minerva yet. And if she's not sympathetic, she most likely also knows what we did in Dawnsbury, and maybe that will incite an audience with us.
It's not impossible, certainly. She might be curious of you as well.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe
You'll
we
want
should.
the evidence from Raven before you do that.
Yeah, of course.
More trekking back and forth.
Perhaps he can send a messenger to send it to us.
Risky, but probably our best bet.
It's a risk, but Ricky could potentially send the message across. Though, of course, that would mean exposing him to Raven. Ricky takes a deep breath and says, "If you need me, I can do it."
Would you feel better about it if I asked Raven about his personal feelings toward you?
Potentially.
Writing that in my notes.
We could ask Raven just to come here and give it to us, too. Not specifically to here, but I mean in Gwable.
That's certainly another possibility.
I don't know if that's an option. He's probably too busy.
Especially if we plan on making him mayor.
Then again, he has an entire guild at his disposal, or a guild branch anyway.
And as far as we know, all of those guild members are unaffiliated with either side.
They're all trainees. They wouldn't have been inducted yet.
Then I suppose that's other options you can do. You could perhaps have them assist in some way. Either with the delivery of the note, acting as bodyguard for Raven, or whatever way you could think of.
do we have disposal at a... Or maybe do you think he could send it through the mail?
I would not put such an important document through a public mail system.
I would have to agree on that one.
Yeah.
Another group we have at our disposal is Sergei's crew, old crew. And
Yeah.
as we have seen, they can be formidable.
They could perhaps back us up if things go south in Snow Sea. It's on the coast.
That is a very good point. They could even be there before we are. And then we could take them to Steelport if we do not find any of the Purge members there.
Yeah, that'd be fast. If we could just travel that way. Wait, Whitetown is also on the coast too. Maybe they can get it.
So just for Quill's benefit, we're planning to send the forged note we have to them. Is that correct?
No, get the note from Estes made, because I gave it to Raven. So we want it so we can show it to the guild leader who apparently doesn't sympathize with them in Snow Sea.
Ah, I see. Okay, so you're saying have them go to Whitetown, they pick it up, and then they meet us in Snow Sea, and we get it from them.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can just sending stones that, or sending shell, or whatever it is.
Yeah, you'd have to use sending on that, since Sergei has both the shells.
Oh, he does? Okay, well, I guess Renyl's got his work cut out for him tonight.
Yeah. The hotline.
Renyl hotline, let me patch you through. See how many.
Starting to think I should have picked up that spell.
It is extremely useful to have. It may take a day or two with all of the messaging that I'm going to have to do, but I believe I can get it done. Give me some time to think about how I will word things.
You're free to use this place as a base of operations for now as well. That way
Thank you.
can... We would prefer if you not bring anybody from the outside in, but you may sleep here, rest here, and use it as a base of operations for now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're fellow Delvers now.
Yeah.
Alright, is there anything else you want to discuss?
No,
No.
assuming we're going to be ending after this, we'll probably formalize those plans off screen into something more coherent
Okay.
Yeah.
with steps and stuff like that.
We have 2 weeks after all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It'd probably actually involve certain someone in it as well.
Mhm.
Alright, then if there's nothing else you've got to say aside from actually narrowing things down, then I guess we will end things off here.
Okay.
Join us next time where I guess their plans will be starting to go into motion. Though you won't be seeing us next week because it's Easter, so join us again in 2 weeks. See you all then. Bye.
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 Bye.